Maybe y'all too good for a half wig, but not me. Let me see. And we are much closer to presentable than we were before. Hey cool kids, thank you so much for being here. I promised myself that I was going to upload 4 days a week, and today's Sunday, so I'm really going to try to do this in as few takes as possible. I got a lot of good feedback on my last video about how I'm going to really try to face my fears and overcome that in 2025. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the books that I'm going to be reading to try to help me get there. See, now where are my notes at? I got it. The first book is going to be a reread. It is The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. So when I first read this book, it was some years ago. I'm 33 now, and I appreciated the book then, but I had not gone through enough in my life to understand how important that concept was. Just betting on yourself, taking the leap, and saying yes. I must say, yeah, I get it now. I get it now. So the first book I will be reading is a reread, and it's The Year of Yes. Okay, so the next book is called The Mountain Is You, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery by Brianna West. Now, I gotta admit to you, I'm not the biggest fan of self-help books. I don't know if y'all follow me on any of my other platforms, but I'm very social justice-y, right? Like, I'm very much so that girl. I am very much so that person that is going to point out that there needs to be a little bit more diversity, a little bit more inclusion, and I'm going to be the one to be the social justice girly in the crowd. I really think that that's why I don't take too kindly to self-help books. Like, I don't know if you're successful because you get up at 5 a.m. You might be successful because you lived in the right zip code and had the right skin tone to be successful in corporate America. Like that might, could that be it? Could that be it? But The Mountain Is You really did resonate with me. It's actually one that I need to finish reading, because when I started reading it, it resonated with me as like a very gentle call-in. Like, this book was clearly written for somebody that's in a place like I am. And so I'm really excited to finish it. I'm about 2 chapters in, and so far, it's clocking me. Next one is a really popular one, also in the self-help category, that I think can really help me. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Dynamic Techniques for Turning Fear, Indecision, and Anger into Power, Action, and Love by Susan Jeffers. This book was published in 1987, but I grew up in the 90s, and I feel like this book, among a couple of other self-help books, were just everywhere. I mean, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Purpose-Driven Life, and Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Those are some of the self-help books that I remember in my formative years. I started reading this book a few years ago, but I didn't get very far because ADHD. Even then, I knew that it would probably help me. And I think that the practical tips, like the step-by-step in how to calm the anger and calm the fear and still go on and do what you gotta do, I think that that's really going to help me right now. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway is definitely on this reading list as well. I also feel like this lady is a psychologist or something. I distinctly remember in the book, like, reading facts and figures and things that could help me understand from that perspective some of the things that I was feeling. It didn't feel just motivational. I know I'm not crazy. It wasn't just motivational. Here are some psychologically backed methods to address this issue of fear and anger and anxiety. The last book I want to read in this Fighting Fear series is the last book that I have that I'm going to read in this Fighting Fear series is actually a novel. Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. I've actually read it before, but I want to read it again as part of my journey in fighting fear. Talia Hibbert wrote an amazing series about 3 women called the Brown Sisters. And Act Your Age, Eve Brown is about the last sister in that series. Number one, I like to incorporate novels into my reading practice, especially when I'm reading a bunch of nonfiction, because I think that novels can be just as important in helping us discover ourselves. Eve Brown, the youngest sister, really does clock me to a T. She is what her family and friends might call scatterbrained. She has bounced back and forth between different careers, and her parents finally get fed up and say, look, you a trust fund baby, but you're not gonna be that kind of trust fund baby. That situation didn't happen to me, but I'm talking about a whole personality type. That whole personality type definitely fits me. Absolutely. So she ends up driving, just getting in her car and driving away from home, and she ends up at this bed and breakfast inn that is looking to hire a chef. And the owner of the bed and breakfast is an autistic man. And of course, that starts not only their romantic relationship, because it is a romance novel, but it starts her journey in discovering that she might have traits of autism and ADHD. See why I want to read it? Right. Yeah. Those are all the books so far that I plan on reading and integrating into my journey in fighting fear in 2025. Of course, I will also be journaling and recording my way through it. Let me know if there are any videos that you want to see, if you want updates on how these books are going for me. And if you have recommendations for books that have helped you get through something similar, let us all know. I'd love to hear about it. All right, y'all, I'm going to get this edited and uploaded tonight because I am uploading videos 4 days a week, and one of those days is Sunday. All right, cool kids. Good night.